This morning's guest is on the edge, and you can be too. Find out what it's all about coming up next on All American People. Good morning. Welcome to All American People. This morning we're at the Horry County Museum on the corner of 5th and Main in Conway, South Carolina. We're focused on next Monday's event at Horry Georgetown Technical College, the Competitive Edge, a leadership summit, and we're visiting with Angela Kegler, the CEO of the Kegler Group. Good morning, Angela.
Very nice to meet you.
One of the organizers of the upcoming summit. Very exciting.
It's extremely exciting.
I think anyone who saw that press release, any folks in the press or in the media who saw a press release that titled "The Kegler Group and Coastal Carolina University coaches are teaming up to save lives and build minds," anyone seeing that wants to know, what's this all about?
Well, it's very exciting, and it's going to be a fantastic summit. We are the Kegler Group. We are teaming up with the coaches from Coastal Carolina University,
Right.
Coach David Bennett and Coach Gary Gilmore. We're going to put together this conference-like summit where folks can come out and not only learn some leadership skills and techniques,
Right.
but they'll also be extremely motivated. As we know that David Bennett and Gary Gilmore are fantastic motivators and motivational speakers. So we anticipate a phenomenal day where people will, like we said, get some education to build their minds, as well as it's a charitable event. So we're going to do some work to save some lives as well.
How exciting. I know we're right at a week away.
Absolutely.
We're a little more than, just a couple hours from being a week away. This is something you all have been working on for quite a while.
Yes, sir, we have. It has been some time, but we have pulled it all together. There are some additional dynamic speakers, but we're going to leave those for surprise.
Yes.
The headliners obviously are the Coastal Carolina coaches, David Bennett and Gary Gilmore. So we'll have some other folks in there that will help folks to learn,
Great.
Be excited, be motivated.
That is exciting, Angela. Well, for viewers who may need to get out of the house now to get off to work or otherwise, what is the best? And now it is a charitable event.
It
You're
is.
selling tickets.
We are.
There are both the tickets for folks who want to attend the lunch. There's a luncheon ahead of time. Share with viewers, what's the best number for someone to call to learn more if they got to get out of the house now?
The best thing they need to do is to contact Mike Ward at the Kegler Group, and his phone number is area code 843
Okay.
504 9695. Tickets are $50 in advance and $60 at the door if we have them available. We anticipate a sellout.
Oh, I bet you will. I bet you will. Right at a week away, next Monday the 28th. How exciting.
It is.
How exciting. And all the efforts that go into putting anything like this together, but to know the right charitable group to wrap around, which is?
The American Cancer Society.
Okay.
The American Cancer Society is a phenomenal organization that is in service to cancer patients and their families.
Right.
They do amazing work. They support not just the programs that cancer patients and their families need, but they're also out there educating the community on becoming aware of cancer and what to look for to prevent cancer. They're engaged in advocacy to help our legislators understand cancer-related issues, to protect families who have cancer, as well as those who may hear the words "you have cancer," and other things like great programs. Look Good, Feel Better for folks who, when they're going through chemotherapy, women who need wigs or want to look good, helping them to understand how they can still look phenomenal despite what their treatments may be doing to them physically.
Right. So truly the need to raise dollars for the American Cancer Society.
It's a
apparent.
fantastic organization.
Yes, absolutely. Very important. Again, 843-504-9695 to get tickets, or even if they're not in town next Monday, there are opportunities to still support the American Cancer Society.
Yes.
I'm sure you and or Mike could give more information about ways to help out. Share with viewers a little bit about the Kegler Group. What exactly is the Kegler Group?
That's a fantastic question. The Kegler Group is a corporate training and development company. We work with not just local organizations, but organizations around the region and the country.
Right.
And we work with those organizations to assess the needs of their employees from a learning and development perspective.
Okay.
I will go into an organization, assess with maybe their human resources or their leadership, what their employee needs are, what their staff development goals are,
Right.
and then we develop programs to educate their staff, help them to, whether it be in management or in customer service or sales. We know that sales training is a very big thing in organizations, but we will work with the organization to customize a program that works just for them. And then we then turn around after we develop the program. We have trainers that go in and deliver the training and work directly with their staff. And what differentiates us from maybe some other organizations is not just that customizable factor where we're not out of the box trainer. We can do box training. We still try to take that box training and customize it to the organization. But the biggest differentiation, and I think you can appreciate this, everybody who has worked for an organization has been in some training at some point. And it's a trainer who's standing in the classroom and they're doing their thing, and a lot of folks just don't like to go to training because it's boring, it's monotonous, and often when they leave that training, they put that book or whatever they're working from in their file cabinet, not to be seen for who knows how long. Or 2 weeks later, they might have to pull it out if you ask the question, what did you learn?
Right.
Our training is much different from the perspective of, because we customize it, because we work with them ahead of time, they can walk out of that training and instantly apply the theories and techniques that we teach them.
Oh, come on. Now, how do y'all do that?
Well,
these are little secrets, yes.
It is little secrets, but that is part of our design, is to
Right.
ensure that if we are doing our job up front, that those employees are engaged during the training session. They're
Right.
not bored. They're not in the back of the room sleeping. They're not hating to go to training with us. But also, when they walk out of there, it is very applicable skills and techniques that they can do something with and
Right.
see some immediate results. And we follow up to make sure that that's exactly what's happening.
That is tremendous. Now, this is for organizations, is there a minimum size, a maximum size? You really reach out to businesses of all sizes.
We recognize that small businesses need training just as well as large organizations. We have worked with organizations with 500 plus employees, and we've worked with organizations that have 10.
Wow.
We don't discriminate as far as who we will work with. We really
Sure.
try to customize it to them, to their needs. We also do things like coaching, executive
Okay.
coaching and team coaching. So sometimes those smaller organizations, rather than some large training program, they really need some coaching programs.
Right.
And we can work with those organizations to coach their staff, helping them to become more effective, more proficient at what they do, and succeed.
Probably small business owners and large business owners think, we're fine. How could anyone come from the outside and really get into our business and make a difference? How do you get through to that business owner or business CEO to make sure they understand that there are other ways, or even potentially, hate to say it, better ways that they could operate their business?
Well, that's a great question. You know, what we try to look at is we say, think about it from a third party's perspective. Think about when you go to eat. You might look around the restaurant and you look at the table and you might notice something that, even though that server has walked up to that table 20 times that day, completely missed it.
Right.
But because they're so close to that table, that's why they're missing it. Being that third party walking in with a fresh set of eyes, sometimes we're able to expose things that they have seen over and over to the point where they miss it. They're so you can't see the forest through the trees sometimes because you're so close to it. And so that's really what we try to do when we work with organizations and try to get them to look at things from a different perspective.
That's critical. We gave the phone number for Mike Ward, the 843-504-9695. He's with you in the Kegler Group. If a viewer works at a business, or is a small business owner or a large business owner, or works in a company that thinks maybe the Kegler Group and corporate training and development can make a difference coaching for their business, is that a good number to call?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They can contact Mike Ward at that same number, 504-9695.
That's tremendous. How did you get into this line of work, Angela?
Well, I will admit that I almost fell into it. I was in corporate America.
Right.
I was in a marketing world and worked for a large consumer products company out of Chicago. Moved to South Carolina. My father was ill with cancer.
Oh, boy.
And I moved here to take care of him.
Oh.
When I moved here, I was juggling that corporate job where I traveled across the country, as well as being here to take care of him. And eventually, after a few years of doing that juggling, I decided it was time for me to try to find something here
Right.
that I was good at, that I loved, that would give me the flexibility and a schedule to take care of my father. I love training, and one of the skill sets, one of the God-given talents I've been given is that to teach and to train.
Great.
And so I worked with a woman named Linda Hosier. She was a phenomenal woman who also unfortunately lost her battle with cancer, but she is very well known in the academic world. There's actually a leadership organization or leadership institute at Horry Georgetown Technical College named after her.
Really?
And she and I met through a mutual friend who lined us up, and we started talking about training. And she helped me to enter into the training and development world. And from there, through her mentoring and her coaching, I was able to do the things that I needed to do to go out and gain some clientele and expand upon it. And then, of course, I went back and earned my PhD in organizational management and development.
Well, that's tremendous. It sounds like you are properly suited for this line of work.
I love it.
That's tremendous, Angela. Your father with cancer, Linda with cancer. Cancer, does it really impact that many people?
It does. You know, it's interesting. If you were to sit amongst a crowd of people and ask 3 simple questions, if you said first, anyone who is a cancer survivor, if you would please stand up, you would see a significant portion of people who would stand up. You know, maybe a quarter of the folks. Even if they've just had a single spot of cancer, if you say, please stand up. Then you said, if you know somebody in your family or a loved one who has had cancer, whether they have it now or they've passed from it, please stand up. You would see almost the entire room stand up. Those who were sitting, if you said that final question, do you just know someone who has heard the words, you have cancer? Doesn't have to be a family member or a loved one. Everyone in the room would be standing. Cancer touches everyone. Even if someone has never had cancer or no one in their family has had cancer, they know someone who's had cancer. And it is something that we have to get ahead of at some point. And the American Cancer Society is making great strides to do so through research. Our Congress is doing things. One of the positive things we can talk about when we talk about politics is that they are looking at cancer research and what kind of funding needs to go in. We need to keep pushing them for additional research dollars. But there are a tremendous amount of efforts being made to get ahead of cancer. And I want to do my part.
Yes. Well, obviously the competitive edge and the big summit coming up next Monday is a step in the right direction, along with many other things I'm sure you're doing to help out the American Cancer Society. Let's break down the day for viewers who may be available a week from today, who could take time off from work, or I think you mentioned before we started filming this morning the opportunity for coaches to bring out their teams, you know, to eat lunch at school and then come out and spend a couple hours in the afternoon at the Burris and Chapin Auditorium there. The
event is not just for business or organizational leaders. This is truly an event that is designed, whether you are a business person, you're going to take away some significant skill sets and hear some great understandings or learnings about being a great leader. But we also feel like coaches, they should be bringing out their students. We are having coaches speak, so coaches who want to have their teams motivated and learn what it means not just to be a player, but to be a leader. They can bring out their teams, and we do have student rates for those coaches who want to bring their students to the event. We also we feel like this is going to be very appealing to civic leaders. You don't have to be a leader in an organization. You can be a leader wherever you're at. Civic leaders, stay-at-home moms are going to benefit from this. We believe that anybody in the home who has a leadership role in the home, whether it be just taking care of the home, the house per se, you can learn from this event. And you're going to walk away extremely motivated to get involved and move forward in your community. We believe that we're going to be able to give everybody those nuggets of learning as well as the motivation that we so need this in this day and age.
They will get enough out of it to feel good about either the $60 donation that includes the lunch, showing up at 11:30, eating the lunch. The summit is from 1 to 4. 1 to 4, okay. Or for the folks who may not be able to attend lunch and can just pay the $50 to be there. I mean, truly, it being a donation from the American Cancer Society, to be able to glean these skills, these opportunities, these leadership nuggets is critical.
And as you said, it is a tax-deductible donation to the American Cancer Society to attend the summit. So they will get a tremendous day, a fantastic lunch, and feel good about what they've offered back to their community.